live now.
Kia ora koutou. Welcome along to this hearing panel for Wednesday, the 4th of May. It's really great to have you all here in the room. And what I'd like to do is, before we get underway, just start with an opening karakia. Tuia. Tuia ki runga, tuia ki raro, tuia ki roto, tuia ki waho, tuia te here tangata, ka rongo te po, ka rongo te ao, haumie, huie, taikie. Thanks very much. And so I'd like to say, first of all, welcome to my colleagues, Councillor Mel Courtney and Councillor Rohan O'Neill-Stevens. And I also to our officer, Mandy Bishop, and I believe we have family joining us today of Mr. Julian Shields. So I'd like to welcome his wife, Elaine, and friend, Rob Silcock, and also Joe Riley from Habitat Humanity into the room. So welcome, everybody. I'm just seeking any apologies, but we've got all the elected members here, so I don't think any apologies to take. Mandy, would you like to introduce yourself at all?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, just for the people joining us today, I am manager of the Consents and Compliance Unit and look after the naming of roads and right-of-ways for subdivision developments or other developments in our area.
Thanks very much, Mandy. So confirmation of order of business is as per the agenda. Do we, going to interest, do we have any updates to the interest register?
No.
No? Okay, thanks very much. And are there any conflicts of interest in relation to the agenda matters?
No.
No, thanks very much. We don't have a public forum today and there are no minutes to confirm, so we'll move along to the substantive matter before us today, which is, and the matter that we're hearing today is an application for the naming of a private right-of-way at 617 to 623 Main Road, Stoke. So would you like to present the report on this, Mandy, and maybe outline if there are any other matters we should consider in our deliberations?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'll take the report as read, but I guess I'd like to say that in all my experience in bringing many road naming applications to the panel, this one stood out to me as being one that was very appropriate and a very lovely way to honour the contribution that Mr. Shields has given Habitat for Humanity and also, you know, families in the Nelson region. It's wonderful that a Habitat for Humanity development will forever carry his name for the development, which is exciting for both the development and for recognising Mr. Shields' contribution. There are no conflicts with the proposed name, so it's, happy to answer any questions the panel may have.
Thanks so much, Mandy. Thanks. I'm just going to questions. I've got a question from Councillor Courtney.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Following on from your comments and introduction, Mandy, who was the thoughtful person that put forward the name?
So I'm not sure I heard you fully, but the proposal for the name was put forward by Habitat for Humanity and checked out by council staff as not having any conflict.
Very good.
A very appropriate proposal.
It's nice that Habitat for Humanity first of all remember and appreciate and recognise in this way, and I think it says a lot about the Habitat for Humanity themselves. It's good that we remember people and the work they do, particularly in this very important field.
Thanks, Mel. Do you have any other questions? No, okay.
No, not at this point, no.
Thank you. Councillor O'Neill-Stevens, do you have any questions?
No, but I'm happy to move the recommendation.
Okay, that's lovely. Would somebody like to second?
I'll be happy to second it.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Councillor Courtney. So I had, I guess, just one question, Mandy, and it's possibly been answered. I was just wondering whether we were going to be formally notifying Julian or Mr. Shields' family about the outcome. And I know that Elaine is here with us today, so obviously she's going to, she'll know the outcome. But are we planning to write any kind of letter or anything to just inform the family or Habitat for Humanity of the outcome?
Yes, in accordance with the process, Madam Chair, once the decision is made, the decision is forward to the applicant who proposed the name. So yeah, I will be formally in writing sending the resolution or decision made today to Joe Riley of Habitat for Humanity.
Thanks so much. I'm just wondering when we do that, if we could just include some comments about acknowledging and appreciating Mr. Shields' significant contribution to the community and how appropriate we think this is.
Certainly, I can do that.
Thanks so much. Well, and I also just wanted to check off that I note in the report there's really great information about the compliance, evaluation of the name and family support. So that's wonderful. And so probably really I don't have any other questions. And so in that case, I would like to move to debate, if anybody would like to debate.
I'd love to have a quick one. Just to say, it's really lovely for Habitat for Humanity to recognise Julian for all his services to Nelson over many years, and it's really a privilege to be able to welcome Shields Way into our council records. I think we could all learn to live a bit more in the Shields way of actively taking care of our wider community.
Lovely. Thanks so much, Rohan. Councillor Courtney.
I would like to endorse what Councillor Rohan O'Neill-Stevens has just said and add to it and say that housing, as you and I know, Madam Chair, and Councillor O'Neill-Stevens knows too, that housing is a basic human right, extremely important for our community. It brings security to the individual, the families, and to stability, I think, to the community at large. So I just cannot commend the work of Habitat for Humanity highly enough. And this is just such a happy day for us all, isn't it, Madam Chair, to be bedding down a name that has, and a person who's synonymous with housing and humanity, Habitat for Humanity over a long number of years. So it is a real pleasure for us all to be involved in this today. So I'm pleased to be here and pleased to be seconding this particular recommendation.
Lovely. Thanks so much, Councillor Courtney. So I've just got a few comments I'd like to say as well. I'd like to really acknowledge the critically important and valuable work that Habitat for Humanity is doing in our community to provide affordable homes for families and build stronger and healthier communities. I think the suggested name is a very appropriate acknowledgement of the very significant contribution that Julian Shields made to our community, and I felt like I couldn't really say anything better than the words of the officers. So I'm just going to read those if you don't mind. So Julian's drive and commitment to Habitat and to the Nelson Tasman community was legendary. His enthusiasm inspired many other people to work with Habitat towards helping local families. In addition, he actively participated in Habitat builds around the Asia Pacific region, further furthering Habitat's mission around the world. Mr. Shields was awarded the QSM in 2017 for his work with Habitat. And we just really I'd just really like to extend the delight of all of Nelson City Council that, along with his family, that this honour is going to be bestowed to him. So I'd like to put the recommendation. So council, because there's only 3 of us, maybe if we just use our hands, but all those in favour? Aye. Against? Carried. Thanks so much. That's really wonderful. So that brings us to the end of our meeting, unless there's any other matters, Mandy, that we need to discuss, but I don't think so. No. Okay. So I will just close with a closing karakia, and thanks. And ahead of that, thanks everybody for participating today. It's really lovely to have you here for this really touching decision, and it feels like a really good decision to be making. Ko te pai tawhiti whaia kia tata, ko te pai tata whakamaua kia tina, homie, hui, taiki. Go in pursuit of excellence, strive to succeed, to encourage, to support, together as one,